So he's benched him, brought him back, benched him, brought him back, and obviously kind of thing that's starting to pay dividends. So David Wilson for me.
I'm going for Cam Newton. Magnificent week in week 14 there. Hasn't had a great year, Cam Newton, but absolutely outstanding last week. Ran for 1 score and threw for 2 more. And if I remember correctly, the one he ran, I think he actually did a somersault over the line in the end zone. Yeah, just to...
He's a very good athlete.
Bit of a show pony there,
good
but completed 23 of 35 for 287 yards and rushed 116 yards. That's a big game.
My stud's going to be Marshawn Lynch. I'm not sure there is a more American name than Marshawn, but he's a running back for Seattle. And talk about making your touches count. He had only 11 carries on Sunday. 3 of those went for scores when the Seattles smashed Arizona 58-0. Lynch had touchdown runs of 20 yards, 4 yards, and 33 yards, and finished with 128 yards and an average of 11.6 yards.
And they call him the Beast. And if you ever see him, you don't want to be tackling him. And I think some of those Arizona players down 58-0. Here comes Marshawn Lynch running at you. I'm not laying my body on the line in that one.
Yeah, the duds of the week, starting with you, Ed.
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Yep.
And I know the Raiders have had a bad year. The Broncos beat them 26-13. But what I didn't like is the same old Raiders thing. It doesn't seem to matter who's coaching that football team or who's playing. Stupid penalties, bad mistakes. The team just continues to shoot itself in the foot when it's playing in these games. You're going to have to somehow change that culture if you're going to change the Raiders, because it's the same stuff I've seen for the last 10 years, and coincidentally haven't made the playoffs for 10 years.
Well, you mentioned the Cardinals before, and it's probably unfair just to pick on John Skelton, who returned last week. He threw 4 interceptions, including a pick 6. Lost a fumble, completed only 11 of 22, and got replaced by the rookie.
That's a bad football
He had a
team.
shocker, but they are putrid.
They're a terrible football team. It's amazing that it's come to this. They were in the Super Bowl not that long ago.
Yeah.
Terrible.
My dud is going to be the Falcons' run game. They barely ran the ball at Carolina. When they did, the results were terrible. Atlanta rushed for only 35 yards on 11 carries. And Michael Turner gaining only 14 yards on 7 attempts. Not a good performance there by the Falcons.
Not at all.
Some SMSs before we wrap things up as well. Durant is a stud. Also nominates Robin Van Persie, but that's for
fair enough.
Which is also
Agreed.
fair enough.
Agree with both.
And he's like 6'10" or 6'11", isn't he, Durant?
Durant.
He plays like
he's about 6'8", I think. Yeah,
point guard. Like, he's amazing.
He is a remarkable athlete.
How about Rubio's return today? He looks fantastic.
I didn't see any of that. Yeah, Ricky Rubio, the Spanish guard who's been out with an injury for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Great to see him back. Former roommate of Joe Ingles, by the way. He and Rubio were roommates.
Okay. Jason Geelong says, any news on the Jags? Can they get better next year?
Oh, they got a good draft pick.
You can always get better. They will have a high draft pick. Their defense isn't that bad. Got to make some decisions at quarterback with what's his name, the kid from Missouri, Blaine Gabbert. Is he going to be the guy? I'm not convinced, but hurt by injuries a lot too. So yeah, absolutely, they can always get better, without a doubt.
And Lewis asked the question, Pacers a bit of a wild card, playing well at the moment, unstoppable defense.
Good team last year, played very well in the end of the season. I have not seen a lot of them, I'll be honest with you, Darren, but I think they're one of those teams like a Memphis that can certainly surprise.
$51.
And also Kyrie Irving, nominations for him, 41 points today for a stud.
Our Kyrie, right?
Exactly.
The guy that was going to play for Australia, right?
If anyone's seen it, the Pepsi commercial, quite amusing. Where he's dressed as the old
Uncle
man.
Drew thing.
Uncle Drew
good,
wanders down and dominates at the park with the locals. But Betstars and Stripes, thank you once again, Ed.
Great to see you, Darren.
Guys,
thank you, Doc. And Al.
Thanks, guys.
Of course, betstar.com.au, home of US